Welcome to the Knowledge Series. Here, under the course EC 407, Computer Communication, we are going to discuss in the area of congestions. So, what exactly the congestion means? To understand this one, let's see first of all the logic behind traffic. As you can see in this slide, traffic, the word with the several set of drawings, as you can witness, where a road is being shown with the car moving on a road with the several signals that is being shown across. So the traffic, basically it is defined as a vehicle or a people in which the people travels, or we can say that on a given lane a vehicle or a people that occupies that particular lane is, we termed it as a traffic. So whenever there is a traffic, there is a delay in the movement, there is a delay in the involves in the transportations through which the designated locations can be attained. So if you take an example of a traffic is a people driving a car. As an example, you can see here. So here car is moving on a lane and a traffic vehicle detector is being detecting which is on the road in the form of a sensor that what is the size of the traffic is moving, what is the length of that particular traffic, and which form that particular traffic, such information is being detected by the sensor. So traffic is another word. It's a obvious reason for creating a congestions. So congestions, when we use that particular word, it refers to the movement of the traffic in a not in an orderly manner, then it will lead to a congestions. Or in technical word, if we say a congestions is a mechanism or a technique that keeps the traffic either above or below the capacity of the network. So if you see the traffic congestions in the bottom figure, there you can see that here in each lane the corresponding vehicle is being moving or passing. Say that it's a low speed, medium speed, high speed. According to that one, the vehicle is passing across the different lane. Now by some means a car gets breakdown, so this area is being blocked. Then in that case, this lane traffic need to take a diversion and moves like as per the order of the partition or the barricade that is being put across the affected vehicles. So here what is going to happen, that in this case the bandwidth is this much. Here the bandwidth has reduced, but more amount of a traffic need to be move across this particular small bandwidth or the small gap of the lane. So thereby the traffic congestions erupts. So traffic congestions increase based on the population growth. So in a wealthy nations where more vehicle is there, so based on the vehicle speed as well as vehicle demarcations where it has to move, that the congestions can somehow made under control. However, the congestion still exists. So there are several factors that cause the road to have either a car or the movement of the peoples that can create a traffic jam. So most people assume that traffic happens from the observation of some mishaps, or maybe because of the vehicle that is being got damaged on the road itself. So these are the basic issues which can lead to a traffic. So here and the analogy of this traffic with respect to the vehicle which is being shown over here, you can see also here based on the signal optimizer is there, queue optimizer is there, operator input output, online computers. That means this computer can able to determine on this traffic how many vehicles need to ply. In case if there are several so many vehicles coming across this lane, then this detector will identify whether the traffic is being able to move in a correct speed or a correct rate or not. If the vehicle is going fast, then the vehicle is trying the system may tries to bring the vehicle speed to low, and if the vehicle is slow, then it will ask the vehicle to increase the speed, so that there will be a uniform movement of the vehicles, thereby the congestions can able to decrease to an extent. So this is what we see in the traffic. So similar analogy we can see in the real time with respect to the networks or the data traffic. So that is what we are going to see in this next case. Network traffic or data traffic is almost the same terminology when we say that it is the amount of data moving in a network at a given point of a time. So here you can see that there is a server, there is a router, and these are the end terminals. So from this server, the data is being processed at the rate of a 10 Mbps. And when it comes to a router, this router will find that based on the memory size of the router will have a queue. So that means queue of the packet waiting for the output link. That means there are several in this queue of the data is getting hold in the router. So this router then what it will do, it will try to reduce the speed of the data rate from a 10 Mbps to 1.5 Mbps, because the internet rate the end terminals may not be having that speed, thereby it can able to accept the 10 Mbps form of a traffic. So that's why there is necessary that the router will have to reduce the speed. So this is shown as a video stream. So this is a video stream of the data is being continuously processing. So if the data speed of the end terminal for processing this incoming data based on the bandwidth of the or the internet speed or in the internet bandwidth rate, then it can able to process the incoming data accordingly. So the incoming data may be coming in a uniform manner up to the router, but after the router it is reducing, because that end terminal can only process that much amount of data. So thereby here the stream of the or the frame of the packets or the video streams get halted in the form of a queue. So the network traffic or a data traffic, as I was telling, that it is the amount of a data moving across a network in a given point of a time. So network data in a computer network is mostly encapsulated in a network packet. So these are nothing but in the form of a packet which provides a load in the network. So more the packets, more the load, and lesser the packet, the lesser the load. So network congestions, it occurs when the network node carries a more amount of a data than it can able to handle. That means when I say there is a terminology with respect to this particular statement, because when we say that the capacity of a network is lesser than the load of a network, capacity of a network is lesser as compared to the load of a network, then the congestions may be or congestions may occur. That means the load of the network is greater than the capacity of the network, then the congestions will occur. Or in other words, if the network having a capacity greater than the load of the network, then the congestions will be congestions will not exist. So what exactly means? So the capacity of a network, that is very important. So the capacity of a network, that means if the this is a network where the terminal is a, if they can able to process say a 20 Mbps than the load of the network, then automatically it will not able to create the congestions. So here what you are seeing is that nothing but the load is in the form of a data. So if the network load carries a more data packet, it can handle, then it will create a congestions. You can take an analogy of this one. Assume that there is a bucket, and inside that you are putting a water, and there is a small hole is there. If the amount of a hole for a water discharge is much faster than the amount of water you are pouring into the bucket, so there will not be any chance that the water may spill out. But if the reverse take place, if the amount of a discharge is less than the amount of a data pouring into the bucket, what will happen? The water may spill out. So this can results a packet loss. That means anything spilling out is nothing but a loss of packets. And what it will happen? There will be delay in the service, and thereby a complete blockade of the network connections will exist. So congestion, when we use congestion is related to the data traffic, and congestion, it tries to degrade the qualities of service, that is a QoS, and thereby it will affect the application performance. Now here you can see one more thing is that the word terminology queue. Queue is basically what it is does is that it tries to study the traffic behaviors, because based on this queue this traffic behavior is being known. So that's why in the previous slide I was telling that a traffic is defined in terms of a vehicle or a people in the and that involves a delay in the moment. So the same thing is you can see here. Here the traffic is moving, but the amount of a traffic movement will cause a delay. So that's why the queuing is basically a study. It will study the behavior of the traffic. If there is a lesser queue, that means the capacity is sufficient. If there is a more queue, capacity is less. So this is how the data traffic or a network traffic try to look for the network congestions. So there are many methods that will be seeing the how the network traffic can be mobilized or monitor. What are the content, thereby the data can be delivered. What are the TCP/IPs? Whether it is a TCP/IP that is one plays an important role, or is there any back pressure of the routing? Is there any choke packets, or is there any implicit congestion notifications, or is there any explicit congestion notifications? These are some of the terminology we will be seeing with respect to the discussions of the data traffic. So when we talk about a data traffic, here you have to understand that there under the class of this data traffic discussions, there are some more terms that will be seeing that since it is a network, so it is a network traffic control. When we talk about a data traffic or a network traffic, so it is a network or a data traffic control. That means it has to manage the traffic, it has to prioritize. When I say prioritize, prioritizing means which data has to move to which network, and if according to that, if this is too many congested network, then the data may be moving to the other traffic, Accordingly, there are several methods that applies to identify the best controlling best managing of the network traffic. Then as I have to, there is a controlling method should be there, and or how the network traffic need to be reduced. These are coming under the network traffic control. The other is one is the network traffic movement. That means it will try to measure the amount and the type of a traffic on a particular network. So that is what it will measure, the amount and the type of a network. So which type? If it is a let us take a video stream, that is one type of a traffic. If it is a audio stream, so that is another type of a traffic, because in the case of a audio your memory requirement is less, but in the case of a video your memory requirement is very high. So accordingly the data traffic will varies. Say for example, in your laptop or in your systems, if your VGA card, if it is a having a low memory, automatically you cannot able to run a high-end or a graphic videos. So your graphic if your graphic cards need to be very strong, so according to that the graphic CPU you have to use, separate CPU you have to use for the video games which has a higher graphic contains exist. Another is that network traffic simulations. So you have to measure how the network traffic is being mobilizing. So the efficiency of the communication network can be measured using a network traffic simulations. Moreover, you know that in the internet everything's you will be finding in the router end like a queue, and thereby the transmitting node can either add. Here you can see that if it is excess node and if there is a congestion, either it will try to drop off the nodes or remove the certain packets. So thereby they can find a continuous moment, continuous flow, so that a video stream can able to appear at the receiver end like a continuous flow, even though certain packet is being dropped out. So thereby it will try to avoid the situations of the congestions, even though there is a small degrade of the performance. So the main focus that we try to see in the congestion is the quality. As I have just stated a little before, the quality of service. The congestion control avoid the traffic congestions. So the quality of a service is basically place the environment over which the application is being processed. This to understand further with respect to the congestions, we'll see another figure. Now when we talk about congestions, the important issue arises is that how the packet can be switched in a network. So congestion situations in a communication network, it talks about the process of a number of an amount of a packet, and thereby it's based on the performance of the process of the packet. It will try to determine what is the amount of a traffic and how is the performance, whether it is a good performance of the network or a degrade performance of the network. Now when we talk about congestions, as I stated, it's the state occurring in a network layer. When a message or a traffic is too heavy, then it will slow down the network response time. So a congestion in a network will occur if the load of the network is greater than the capacity of the network. That means if this is our load, this load need to be processed, and this is the capacity of this network. So if this load is greater than this one, then it is having congestion. But this is lesser as compared to this one. Then it will not have a congestion. Think like this is a water. Or just think that this is a room, and there are 3 people is entering and coming out. If in this room, if the 10 people need to be made to move, then it will create a congestion. So that is how you can also take an example. So here, when we talk about congestions, why normally it occurs? There are you can technically, if you are stating, that means a stream of packet that arrives at a particular node. That this is a stream of a packet that is arriving at a particular node at or a particular interval of a time. If it is heavy, then it will cause a loading of a queue. Or if this router is not efficient or causing a delay in processing or forwarding this packet in an appropriate way to the next router, then also there will be a load the congestions, and several packet may also dropped off. When we talk about a router, it's a processor. So if there will be a slow processing, then the congestions will occur. So when the router CPU is slow at the performing, what will happen? Then the buffer will be queued. Uploading table will also will be getting updated very slowly, and reporting of any assumptions with respect to any faults or any issues, it may not be addressed in a right time. There may be a reason that a packet may contain a TCP segments, and these segments when it is sent from the sender to the receiver, from the receiver it has not acknowledged back in appropriate times. So given time out, a retransmission need to take place. So then again a congestions. There may be a major case happens through a bursty of traffic. That means at a time several burst of a traffic is being processed. So that is also the cause. If a large amount of network the data that is being appeared at the network and input, or that means, or in other words, at the input of a router, it may also cause the bursted traffic. So these are nothing but some of the cause with respect to the congestions. So if you look across the traffic congestions with respect to the figure which is being shown here. So here, if you try to see that this is a packet delivered with respect to the packet sent. You are sending a packet, and here packet is being delivered. Now, if there is a linear relations between the incoming packet and output packet, you get a linear graph. That is a perfect graph. And this is the assume that this router can maximum carry this much packet. That is what it is being stated. So if the router is only able to meet its capacity, that is mean if this is the capacity of the packet, so desirable capacity, then we can treat that the packet can able to deliver in a proper way. So that because that is the maximum capacity, and that is how the slope is being shown. So this is a desirable conditions. So this is the ideal conditions between the input and output. And if the packet is sent or the packet at the input of any router, if it is more than the packet delivered, then it will lead to a congestions. So that is what a congestion or a congested traffic is being stated. So here congestion in a network occur when the load on the network, that is a packet sent to the network, is greater than the capacity of the network. That is the number of packet a network can handle. That is a capacity. So a network congestions occur in case of a traffic overloading, and that cause a congestion, and thereby the performance get degraded. Now here some points also I would like to bring to your knowledge is that when we talk about congestions, there is some terminology like a transmission delay. When we talk about a transmission delay, it means that the total packet length divided by the transmission rate. That means if this transmission delay if occurs, that means it depends upon this packet and at what rate that this packet is being processed. So that is known as transmission delay. Propagation delay is nothing but that means the packet is traveling from what distance. So the total distance travel of the packet divided by the its speed, propagation speed. So that is known as the propagation delay. Next, third is a processing delay. The processing delay means the time required to process a packet in a router or the destination host. So that is known as the processing delay of the packet. Queuing delay, the time a packet is a packet wait in input and output queues in a router. So that is known as a queuing delay. So when we queue means you are holding the packet here. So the time a packet waits in the input and the output queues in a router, that is known as a queuing delay. So when we talk about a total delay is nothing but that is a n plus 1 into total transmission delay plus processing delay plus propagation delay plus n into total queuing delay. So this is known as the processing delay of the packets. So this is how the congestions we normally defines. So based on this congestions, we try to find the network traffic to get blocked or network traffic get also network traffic find it difficult to have a smooth flow between the source to destinations. Now let us see that some of the effect already I have stated with respect to this particular figure. Now as I have shown in my previous figure, the ideal figure, control figure and uncontrolled figure in with respect to the offered load and the throughput, and the another way the offer load and average packet delay, that is being shown here. So these two figure you can see, that means when too many packets are transmitted through a network, congestions will occurs and at a high traffic situations the performance will collapse. So that is what we see in the case of a performance with respect to the network. And what is the effect of the congestions? It will increase the delay and it will decrease the performance. And if the delay increases, if the delay increases, then what will happen? The retransmissions will occurs, and thereby it will again make the situations worse. So delay means what? That packet has not reached, so it has to retransmit again. So as per this figure, if you can trace that the throughput is affected based on the offered load. So that is what is being shown. So initially the throughput increase linearly with respect to the offer load, and because of the utilization of the network, here in this case it is being increasing. Suppose if the offer load is beyond a certain limits, that means or it is up to the certain limit, then we say that it is in the control condition. So normally we consider 60% of the network capacity, or in another word, if the offer load increase beyond the 60% of the network capacity, then there are chances that throughput will drop. That means there is a chance of a congestion. So we keep below 60% of the network capacity. So we cannot take a network as 100% as 1:1. So we have to take less than 60% of the network capacity, so that only the network that need to be processed, it should be kept below that network capacity for a control form of a network traffic. And if the offer load increase beyond that, what will happen? Here in the uncontrolled situation, not a single packet will be delivered to the destination, and this is commonly known as a deadlock situation. So this is a deadlock situation that you have to keep it in your mind. Similarly, if you try to look for the second figures, so or here in this particular figure, this is the maximum capacity ideal case, and here is that there is no need of a congestion control, whereas this is the case of a congestions, because here congestions will occurs. So you have to be very you have to see the network, you have to not to fall under this particular situations. Now here when you try to see in these particular situations, a delay, whenever there is a delay, it increases the offered load conditions. So here you see the offer load, you are sending this packet in an uncontrolled situations. So with a limited amount of a packet, you will find the packet delay will increase. Whereas in the ideal case and in the control case, a more amount of a packet you can able to send. So no matter what technique you are using in a congestion control, if a delay grows beyond the load approaches the capacity of the systems, congestion will cause. So it is very important that longer the delay, congestion control policy need to be applied. So if your delay is there for a longer time, so congestion control policy will have to apply. Why? Because otherwise the network will get congested in the later part, or the congestion control will saturate, will get saturate, so that it will not able to control. Or you can say that a network without any congestion control will saturate at the lower offered load. That means this is what the case. That is, a network without any congestion control will saturate at the lower offered load. That means this is a very problematic condition. It will not able to carry the higher amount of a load. So this is what we discussed with respect to the effect of a congestion. Now another way, if you want to understand this particular thing, you can see this particular figure here. This is what we can see in another way, is that this is a yellowish point is the no congestions area, and this is a congestion area. So that means when the capacity this is the when the load increases beyond the capacity, the congestions will occur. But if this is the capacity of the network, so here congestions will not occur. So that is what here capacity and load. Here delays. So here higher the load beyond the capacity, what will happen? The delay will keep on increasing. Here the throughput will fall down beyond that, beyond the capacity. In the congestion, it will fall down. So in this case, with the delay will increase at the edge of the capacity. When the capacity is about to cross beyond the capacity of the beyond the if the capacity of the load increase beyond the capacity of the network, then you can understand that the congestions is going to happen. So this is what we like to say, or you can say that when the packet sent to the network is greater than the capacity of the network, and that means the number of network the system can able to process. So that is what we determine the case with respect to the congestions, yes or no. Finally, we will see the congestion controls, one flow diagram. A congestion control flow diagram, it refers to the mechanisms for the control congestions. That is what we can see, and keep the traffic below the capacity of the network. That's why we are trying to see. So in this case, our goal is that there should not be overfilling of the water in the bucket, and it should not spill off. So bucket filling should be in a controlled manner. So the congestion control techniques are two type, open loop and a closed loop. Open loop means the protocol, it will try to prevent or avoid the congestions, and it will try to ensure that the systems never enter into congested state. So that is the open loop system, because it is going to prevent and avoid congestions. Closed loop means a protocol in these systems, it enter into congestion state and it will detect it and remove it. So in the closed loop it will detect and remove. Here it will not remove, but it will prevent or avoid the state of a congestion, to ensure that system will never enter into congested state. So in the first category, that means in the open loop category, the solutions is that it try to solve the problem. So that's why a good design technique is needed in this particular open loop protocol systems. And here the rules and policies for designing is based on the traffics, so that whenever excess traffic is approaching, it should be able to determine when to discard it, and thereby it will try to make a schedules, because you can see the queues. So if it can able to make the schedules, then based on the open loop algorithms, it can able to understand that how effectively the packet from the source to the destinations can be mobilized in a effective manners. In the second category, that is the closed loop category, it is basically a feedback systems. You can see closed loop, and during these particular operations, a feedback is being maintained with respect to the subnet, that is from a router to router, and it takes actions, thereby it can reduce the congestions. That means it will try to see that the previous routers should try to reduce its traffic movement, so that it will not create a congestions. So that is based on the feedback conditions it will try to defines. So here there is no feedback system in the open loop. So it will monitor the systems to detect whether the network is congested or not in this case, and also pass the informations what action it has to be do with respect to the previous one, and adjust the entire system operations for the to solve that particular problems. So here closed loop algorithms is being employed, where the closed loop algorithm will work in the form of explicit feedback and implicit feedback. Explicit feedback, that means a special packet is being sent to the source to curtail the congestions. That is an explicit condition, the conditions for controlling. Implicit approach in this approach, the source itself act as a proactive way and tries to deduce the existence of the congestions by making a local observation. That means in the closed loop feedback is there. So based on the feedback, the source up to the source end, we will be doing a control based on the previous routers. Whereas in the implicit, it starts from the source to the point where this particular congestions packet is being traced out. So based on this particular congestion control, there are different popular algorithms that is being used, and these algorithms is very important from the university perspective, because it has a numerical problems also is there, and also theoretically it is very important. One is a leaky bucket algorithms, another is a token bucket algorithm. These are the open loop and more popular algorithms is there. Another is a chalk packet technique, hope by hope chalk packets, log shadings. So these are the coming under the closed loop. So these are the algorithms. Among this, the leaky bucket algorithms and token bucket algorithm considered to be a very important point for us to understand and for us to study. So here we have discussed a very important point of our discussions with respect to traffic. We have seen the type of a traffic, how that normal traffic can be analogous to our real-time network or a data traffic That is what we see in here. The next we discuss about a data traffic, how the data traffic is going to create a congestion with respect to the queuing conditions. And where we try to discuss is that the load of the network is depend upon the capacity of the, this is the capacity of the network. If the load of the network is heavy, then the capacity of the network, then it will be causing a queue, it will causing a congestion. That is what we seen, and we have seen these congestions related discussions, where ideal condition is a perfect condition is there, desirable condition is there, and congestion condition is there, where the heavy packet is being processed, thereby the packet cannot be delivered. And the effect of the packet congestion packet is also seen, where the load versus throughput is been shown. Another is that load versus delay. The load versus delay, you can see that in the case of uncontrolled conditions, it tries to create the that means the delay is more delay increases with respect to the offered load, and that is more severe in the case of uncontrolled conditions. That is what we mean to say. So the best technique to control the congestion control is to see that how the delay can be controlled with the increase in the load. So that means higher the more amount of a packet if you can able to send, thereby you can able to see that the delay can be postponed, so that thereby you can able to have a better throughput. And this is what we try to see about the congestions with the delay case. Here the delay increases when the capacity is the load capacity is about to reach to the boundary end. So this is the load capacity maximum. After that the congestion starts. Here the throughput reduces. So these are the different flows of congestion control technique, open loop technique, where it tries to prevent or avoid the congestions, whereas closed loop try to see that the congestions can be detected and can be removed, followed by the first technique is that it tries to do the open loop conditions between source and the destinations, so that there will be a proper control with respect to the traffic or the packet that is being sent, and the packet that is being reached at the destinations can be controlled using the open loop algorithm. The second case is a feedback based, so that is a closed loop algorithms, where we can try to do a explicit feedback and implicit feedback, where the explicit feedback is with respect to the control of the previous nodes, and implicit feedback is based on the from the source it will try to control towards the end. So with this we conclude at this point of our discussions with respect to the congestion control, and this will continue further. Thank you.